Let's imagine our Earth's land as her skin, the oceans as her blood, the rocks as her bones, and we humans as her children that she holds us so dearly. Whenever we go inside the forest towards the trees, we always have a sense of discovery and inner peace deep inside of us. But what's the reason? The reason is that the forest is her heart, and she's hugging all of us with her embrace very dearly and making us feel protected under the shade of her arms. We and the earth are interconnected. We live in one great unity, and that is what makes it our responsibility to protect her, just like she protects us. In the time it took me to walk on the stage, say around 10 seconds, more than 10,000 metric tons of climate warming gases had been pumped into the atmosphere by human actions. I'm not sure if you all know this, but I'm actually a climate expert. Yeah, that's right. At the ripe old age of 12, I've figured it all out. Just kidding. But seriously, climate change is an issue that we all need to address regardless of our age. Most of us consider our earth as a commodity, something which we can use, or even worse, as a non-human being. Like when we use a commodity and as it reaches its full potential or stops working, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna throw this away. Bye-bye, I'm gonna go buy another one. However, when we think of our relationship with other people, living beings, we cannot just throw them away. We cannot take them for granted physically or emotionally. We do not want to, and we cannot do that. It all comes down to human emotions, and we do behave with utmost sensitivity, don't we? We all now know that the earth is in a grave danger. The conditions for human life, even the conditions for life itself, are severely threatened. There have been previous few radical shifts of climate, as well as catastrophic mass extinction across the almost 4 billion year history of life on Earth. And what is unique about this particular crisis is that we have no doubt what is causing it. We are. Climate change is an issue that we all need to address regardless of our ages. How about looking at Earth as if it were a person, in a relationship with every single one of us? How about putting some emotions in the perspective that we see the earth as? How about connecting our roots to the heart of the mother from where we all emerged? I know that apparently I too have a hand in causing this massive damage to the environment. I know it's really hard to face the truth, but what is harder is to change, and the hardest is to take massive action. It's really difficult for me, at least, because I know that I'm not so good at giving up my old habits, my patterns, and my convenience for the sustainability. I've tried a lot of times, and yes, I have failed over and over again, just like the most of us. And this is what has brought me to this realization today that I'm wrong. And there are thousands like me unwilling to give up their pleasures. If working apart were a force powerful enough to destabilize the planet, surely working together, we can be powerful enough to save it. There has been a lot of debate and concerns over to what extent climate change, which is induced by humans, has a hand in causing these massive damages to the environment. And this is true, not just symbolically, but also literally. We all now know that this climate change is attributable to a small part of these disasters. This small portion can actually turn into a huge part in pushing our community beyond our capacity to deal with climate change. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change 2021 report says that it is unequivocal that human activities have warmed the climate, the ocean, and the land. They used the same word in their last major science assessment report in 2013. 8 years on, and they add that without drastic cuts in emission, the crucial threshold of 2 degrees Celsius warming will be crossed and all life will be thrown into chaos. resulting in unimaginable destruction and suffering. Without a healthier planet, we cannot achieve any of our goals. It is time for climate action. It is time to speak out and step up and demand urgent action for a healthier planet now. Through education, innovation, and adherence to our climate commitments, we can make the necessary changes to protect the planet in real time. Just tell me one thing, that during COVID, was it intentionally taught to children to wear masks? Because it seems to me that in the span of around 15 years from now, it'll become a part of human race forever. You have lived your life the way you wanted, free to roam around in the lush green fields. Don't you want to give us the same childhood? Don't you think that we deserve it? The future of life on Earth depends upon our ability to take action. Many individuals are doing what they can, but real success can only be possible if there is a change in our societies, our economics, and in our politics. I've been lucky in my lifetime to see some of the greatest spectacles that the natural world has to offer. Surely we have a responsibility to leave for the future generations a planet that is healthy and habitable by all species. If you think that your efforts won't count for much, let me share with you a story. In 2019, a group of young activists launched a campaign, namely Fridays for Future, inspired by Greta Thunberg's school strike for climate. They used to organize protests, speak to the politicians, and even demand urgent action for a healthier planet. One of their leaders was a young girl named Louisa. Louisa and her fellow activists received a lot of criticism and opposition, but they refused to give up. One day, Louisa received a call from an unlikely source, a coal industry lobbyist who wanted to meet her. Louisa was skeptical, but she agreed to the meeting. And to her surprise, the lobbyist was actually willing to listen to her concerns about the future of energy in Germany. At the end, Louisa and the lobbyist did not agree on everything, but came away with a deeper understanding of each other's perspectives. And moreover, Louisa realized that even those on the other side of this climate debate can be convinced if you're willing to engage with them in a more respectful and an honest way. So my message to you today is that we can all make a difference in our fight against the climate change. Whether it's by protesting, writing to the elected representatives, or by simply making changes in our own lives, we all have roles to play. You may consider me as a child, but so are you, of our beloved Mother Earth. So from one child to another, let's not lose our playground. There is so much more to give, and there is so much more to grow. Thank you so much for listening to me.